Abusio bi o te Ghana bi a wako social media na nsenye bia be who's okay. No ma yakwaso a country num no anu e de angasa. Right now no CD value in equivalence to the dollar no chale is just madness. $1 15 cedis. And then you know by the end of December no now you talk $1 more than 20. £1 now is 15 cedis. It's just madness. And man for baby na talk about say they na president here because the only solution I think is the government there by say IMF fiscal bailout and then say they be pumping more dollars into the country no. Say they be at least be sustaining the city na kakra. But still it looks like say no one has any idea how to solve this situation. And then the person in charge yes and go team solve no is the finance minister. And now I'm saying, if you are not able to solve it, then you can leave. But you know, Nanado and then the MPP government, you know, they don't, ministers from reshuffle. So you understand, Juma to the optimum level according to Nanado. And then I'm for Brenekasa. Celebrities day in, day out to be, and they are writing stuff. Normal Ghanaians are writing stuff, but it doesn't even reach Nanado Crown. So, you know, Brennan here from. When I won't sit idly by. I have to write something up and then, you know, tag it to the Minister of Finance, Ofori-Atta Ankasa. Send a bay on one casa behu, no way free because if the US is true, was a lestracious away. Or no one will say, dear, you go to man a bass or Mayano. Or no one shared I can't do it, so I'm leaving the position. Send a bay or be I am more capable. Beba baye. So if say on no bet my saw you care. Why not Ofori-Atta? Yenkwane na naba na mwakire eno so. Title was Dear Ofori-Atta, Resign. Yeah, that is issue number 3. This is dated October 21st, 2022. A very lovely picture, Ankasa. Lovely. Hey, lovely picture, Ankasa. Yenkwane wakire eno so. Was Dear Ofori-Atta, on any day I would like to see through this Friday with excitement, do well with my commitments, and settle in for a weekend of relaxation with full knowledge that all is good, but you have decided to undo all of that. Now, I was saying about the weekend, you know, why you all the week of the days, you know, what I saying. The weekend, now we are relaxing, we are saying, be we are saying, be Ghana, be Nabrabum. But this specific weekend, party, all go into the weekend, no, only that energy, no, because Ofori-Atta decided to say, but messy up the day, and you're thanks to you, millions of Ghanaians and business owners have been robbed of honest gain for honest work. Abusiani dey true. The black, what 2023 is supposed to say, the entire year Juma for even a dead currency. Because right now, if you are working in Ghana and being paid in Ghana cedis here, I know again. This is our employer catching his own in dollars. Why? Yeah, now we set the figure. They said, "See, they pay Corona, you are still being paid at that dollar level." And yes, idea. Because right now, yeah, you must say 1,000 cedis. In next 3 months, that 1,000 cedis is worth about 500 cedis. It's basically worthless. So you are working for a dead currency. And on another band, I'm putting her correct to say, thanks to you, millions of Ghanaians and business owners have been robbed of honest gain for honest work. Because if you do the work, you don't get the results. Your incompetence has seen the value of our work depreciate at an alarming rate. Incompetence, no. Now, Mr. Kofi TV, on Al-Wahab, your interview, Al-Wahab, say, because of say Nanado, the type of governance, no, on person believe will be behind, and that thing is good. That's the reason why reshuffling crowd so on, you know. And then according to Nanado, Ofori-Atta are performing very well during the first 4 years, no bass, no. But at this time, no masses. We've been hit, according to the government, by Russian-Ukraine war, by COVID. Because of that, it looks like Ofori-Atta is, as on you used to this. This is way too much. I beg Ofori-Atta's pay grade. But Nanado, send you on it, didn't buy or you bush any on Peso Bayini into the store. Now, even though say, oh, underpay for me, still now, or 24 side and or change surgery. Would you take that section or a crack?
The president cast in the first term of Bojuma. The seasons were not the same, so you couldn't test maybe his efficacy. You couldn't test his efficiencies. You couldn't test and match his efficiencies against hard times and against normal times. And so I'll call it say, now maybe a better, and yes, but he's not used to this type of economy as we dealing with the physical policies. But what I say, I respect and give him respect. Say yes. what try and I say oguso try kwaku Kofi. I don't think say obe minister bi be obaka say oh me person me wrecking the economy of the country. I don't think Ofori-Atta that is his mind. But I'm also believing say obia won areas, especially in economics, obia won areas of strength. And to be when it was about the time and normal times, he had very free flow and accustomed to smooth ride, so he was okay. But here's the challenging situation, challenging moments and challenging times, now finding it difficult. So if a president brings that one, say, a year time I'm a first term, no. But then your first term was without COVID. Then your first term was without Russian war. So now there's a real time, there's a case scenario. So that is should bring rather the strength and energies and the synergies, from the economic minister. Now on show dynamism, the economic approach. Now resolve some of the problems which I believe say are avoidable.
Yeah, Busia, that is how Bunya read that interview with Kofi, a very insightful and kasa. Link, YouTube description as well. Now Kofi TV channel as well. Koko Sechube Huna share a very insightful. Oko when him to an about article now say before this week depreciation was over 40% and inflation also close to the same percentile. A casual glance at everything and it's another reason to be angry because you have willfully provoked us with your abysmal management. At the National Forum on the Economy at the Accra International Conference Center in 2017, you were unambiguous that you will work tirelessly to ensure all Ghanaian businesses flourish courtesy your competent leadership. I believed you, so did many Ghanaians. 6 years down the line, your fruits are better than eerie. Now we are so named eerie now, a capito moja. That is called eerie. Adibia and Yunobusubia, and then Yadipabiano. That is the term for it. Hence capito moja. So they are now ban which means we kind of talk about economy 2017. Ofori-Atta Shegana for Unkurai, more mujidi be wa by them so betting ya on one casabe working on that 247 and so no dinya by Yagma Ghana mine. Anamoah so believe back then, but right now no things assassin. Okowenima. Before you gasp and reach for an explanation, don't stretch and touch the COVID pandemic plus the Ukraine-Russian crisis. Yeah, what the Unya can say Ghana that is their number one go-to angle. COVID pandemic plus the Ukraine-Russia crisis as a war for balance and you are pushing for solace. You lot sound like a broken record. So it looks like anything Viano. They go back to that same Russian-Ukraine war, COVID-19. That's the reason why. And now Anamoah can't say, excuse because they sound like a broken record. The world suffered same, but you are imprudent borrowing. The world suffered same, but your imprudent borrowing, taste, and wasteful use of those flammable funds has led us to this point. Like I always say when I bring economy and Ghana and politics, I always say this. COVID-19 scare Burma Ghana was 18.19 billion. That is not me finding. That was figure of Ministry of Finance led by Ofori-Atta Nangasa, Babekano Parliament. 18.19 billion. During that time, now it's more than $3 billion. Yeah, quite IMF for the same $3 billion. But the empire na COVID team the year Ghana pa 3 billion yentimi using right. Abra even help government they mark COVID Ghana for one and soon so. But still we used up all that money. Just madness. The economic heat has broken the thermometer this week. The heartbeat has a new competitor in the Ghana city. It is beating faster than the throb of spongy organ. And you unashamedly ask us not to panic. Wow. Yeah. So I said, yeah, born here can't do the main soon. Since the Ghana new age more Ghana. And the sick or general so me. So last year, or 2000, this year, this month, or 2000, the value is still not the same. What I say, a basana, you are doing honest work, but you are not being paid honestly. Even though so you are collecting the exact same figure, but that same figure, no intimate to adia, nanka time, I must set that figure and wait me at all thanks to Ofori-Atta and Nanado and the government. You may be in the company of finance ministers at the IMF spring meetings and looking for that miracle with your negotiations, but the Ghanaian brother you sat next to, Kwesi Kwarteng, has fallen on his own sword for introducing policies which could have further crippled the British economy. He took the early steps to a political fiasco before his boss and now former PM, Les Truss followed suit. Nti Opache say UK, yedi Mr. Kwesi Kwarteng as finance minister, and the policies were the buy Anamoah buy no. And then the PM no then they buy now no resign. If that can happen, we will be my sword. Won't follow up the same idea and then also resign. So that is basically kind of the whole letter. Oko anymore say you on the other hand, against all the clear public wills of the majority of your people, continue to hold on to a job you've woefully failed at and leading a process you don't believe in. That is going to the IMF. After failing to properly introduce a new tax line, e-levy and borrowing us out of the international financial market. Maybe a part of you wants to leave and your cousin is backing you to the hilt on the altar of loyalty. Yeah, Mr. Al-Wahab Nanad because of the loyalty or man for our former as ministers in the home. Also, reshuffling here because we'll be a year to the optimum level.
And many of them, for me, have done an outstanding work. Their output has been considerable. And that's what I look at.
Okay.
There's an issue about reshuffle or the performance of ministers. It isn't as if it is something that every now and then my mind comes to.
Okay.
It's a daily preoccupation for me.
Yeah.
I'm required on a daily basis to ask myself whether the output of particular ministers is up to the mark. I am not the final authority, and if they're not up to the mark, I'm required to act.
Yeah.
But if the output measures the expectations, then I don't have any strong reasons to heed the call.
But for God's sake, spare the entire nation this prolonged spectacle of failure and let go of the burning rod. If you were leading a private company, managing private funds with this current performance, you probably would have walked. In fact, you would have been fired. This time it's public funds and the stretch of the impact is much more. And it is true. Because if you are underperforming, a bigger company, you are not bringing in funds or managing the funds properly to make more money, then you have to go. So I now bet you say, if a private institution, private company, and a public institution and then public funds, you don't really care that much. And then the consequences, for it being the public, not just public, a whole country, is very dire for a whole lot of people. But Ofori-Atta and then the Nanado government, they don't want to change anything because to Nanado, they are all working at optimum level. Unless Vineyard's words ring true that resignation is the courage of Christian sorrow, all Ghanaians are weeping, and as a devout believer, wouldn't you rather resign and save us all from further ignominy? Yeah, ignominy, I think public shame. So, Mr. Nanado, this bravo and one mankra, but confused say, ignominy. Look at this. Oh, sir, I regard citizen Anamoah. So Abuja, that is Anamoah, an open letter to Ken Ofori-Atta, Minister of Finance, say Ebeha on one shiny country no resign. Because one job, NSO, keep the cedi in check. You can't do that. Every single day, Biano. The cedi value to the dollar rises by 1 cedi. We are in what? October. So November, December. You better do December, no? Now $1 is equal to 50 cedis. And if we reach that pointer, forget about Ghana. Petogo koshe because I'm wabim. I say crony eshino. Now if the Ghana cedi ni etwem, now if the go the US for dollar, it's that simple. And yes, I find the
Kofi, between today and December, dollar will hit not 20 Ghana cedis margin. Now Kofi, and no 13 galloping 2 times a day, 3 times a day, a channel 14.1, a bedroom we are 14.2. Think of it in the next 2 months. Because Kofi, once again, a man for Oscar, I will make the dollar is rising. There is no mitigation in terms of government in dollar in return. Nikoko syndicated money no inya mewu emaye NSS kan ba ahe And the nipa na HAC again Christmas time will be due. Right. So the market women going out. Sanya China crown and yame aya wo matu omo board desman kofo ntimi nkwa enka dollar nka du 30.
What do you think about Nana Banam 117 and watch that make Ofori-Atta so on Resign? Or you right here and I say, oh, yeah, manabroso. To me, I think it's dead on because if the person in charge of a specific job can't do the job properly, because right now, the only a year account IMF, that is the only thing, the IMF bailout. But Ghana and Kasano, we have so many things that can bring us money, but we don't care about any of those things. Cocoa, Ghana, your major export is cocoa. Correct how you treat Ghanaian cocoa farmers. It's sad. They say cash you crowd value chain Ghana cocoa. And then why should anyone venture into cocoa farming? And we have so many, we have fertile lands to do practically anything we want. But we are not focused on that. Kennedy Japan in one interview, me who saw cancer or no a president and tourism. And then the bear one spot to bet him there make his cap for Ghana. And ra me who video bisa alo habo se hwan or saying chine kwan can be oh Charlie, we have all these things, but you know it is what it is.
So you import your friend saying salt go from Egypt to the Baha. Burkina Faso you import salt. Benin we import salt. Niger we import Saharan government Mali we import salt. Now salt they go down. Again why no? So how do you get the revenue? Foreign currency, where do you get it? To mitigate your foreign income. Mitidebiano, obekwa koto dollar from US treasuries. Now koto dollar from US treasuries. What the bar? Ebe sinke. Because nipano, anonu jata mat na biye, edi che dollar no. Edi also che dollar na ebe uamu. Ente baya nipa miyemi timi kambo to say, the dollar is off.
Mami hu ajen wana na ba na one long later. Yeah, chere wajen wa comment section as well. Na mi hu ne odwen fa ho. Say he says she's dead on. Or she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Me did the young antechwa, and maybe I'm this cabin for Europe. I come a bush for Ghana. No, me used to tap send, tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Ye easy, convenient, fast, and sounds so ye free. Won't you share? Me discover ye map him. Tap send. Intienne, also download the tap send app. No, ever mobile phone so free. Let us see how come we bushing for Ghana for na. Tap send. Papa no.